Ever since we learned of the verdant mines, I haven't been able to stop thinking about them. They were clearly well-resourced in regards to both labor power and knowledge. And they had an extremely intimate knowledge of the Enclave's technology. But do you know who was around to see their rise and fall, but hasn't spoken a word about it?
Cassidon's Hold's biggest ass?
The very same. I just think it's interesting how he's kept quiet about it. Don't you?
I don't expect much from him.
I don't know if he was involved with the events surrounding the Verdant Mind's attempt to take down the Veil, but he certainly bore witness.
So what are you thinking?
I'd like to send you out on a fact-finding mission for now. Meanwhile, I'll pore over my existing research for clues.
Gotcha. I'll be back when I found everything you're after.
Thanks, Bryn. I'll get to work here, too. It sounds like your experiment with the loom gates went well.
With the axle and the spindle? Yeah. It turned out better than we could have hoped.
That's good news.
Are you worried about something?
Worried? No. Holding the infinite weave of possibilities, do you think the resonance modulator could be used to keep certain kinds of people out of the Loomgate network too?
I don't think there's anything to be concerned about there. The spindle seems like she understands the modulator's design. Trust me, she has good intentions.
I think many possibilities, however remote, are worth investigating. Sorry, I need to get back to my work. Much to consider here.
Ready to head to Cassidy's Hold?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Great. Hey, while it's just the two of us, I'll be deploying to the Underworks almost immediately after we arrive. Watch Khan Stanfield for me, will you? I know Oriel wants you to give him a chance, but he can't be trusted.
I'm always ready for anything.
I know.
Decades of caution have been rewarded, friends. For this moment, and not one sooner, is the precise time. Today, we wrangle our lands free from the Surgeborn's grasp and reclaim our hearth once more. None of this could be possible without the esteemed prowess of the Spindle. Her work on the Arcs has laid the foundation. She and I will proceed to the Grand Scouts, you have your orders. It's time!
Bryn, you need to come with me.
Now?
Yeah, no time to explain. And Aurea, you should get on the scry.
All right. Whatever you need.
Let's go. Sev, I know you said there's no time to explain, but want to give me a clue as to where we're going?
So, obviously I've been working with the Eye. And well, he had me repair the Grand Gate. It's connected to this place called the Source, and I guess that's where the Surgeborn came from. He's got this plan to go there and solve this problem once and for all.
Right. I heard that part of his speech already. What does this have to do with us sprinting like an Ash Peak Drake is on our heels?
So there's, it's better if I just show you.
Perfect. As punctual as you are daring.
Sev, what's going on?
I don't know.
Oh, don't blame him. He's merely a puppet. Ironic, given I'm the one all tangled up.
So you can talk?
Of course. Only language could allow me to prey upon Kenrick's exquisite inadequacies.
You've been talking to the Eye? Manipulating him?
Into a foolhardy and preposterous plan that only an absolute imbecile could think was worth pursuing, yes. I've been down here for years, laying groundwork and learning what I could about your people. All towards a moment when I could convince Kenrick to act. I almost despaired here, and then along...
Me?
Oh yes. Kenrick is threatened by you. Terrified, even. In your brief time inside the Veil, you've accomplished so much more than he has in decades. Not that that's saying much. Still, you are the perfect catalyst for change. We have that in common, as you will discover in time. So now, he's going to open a gate to the heart of the Enclave, convinced he can recover it from us. And the one person I worry might be able to stop us is here, talking to me. You're fast, but even you can't run to the rescue now.
You've thought of everything. Except, why tell me all this?
Because you're too late to stop us. And even if you weren't, no one would believe you.
Sure. Unless they were listening.
Quit taunting it, Bryn. You've got work to do.
Tyler, we must retreat.
No! I'm staying to fix this. Do whatever you can to buy me time. Brenna's seriously about to fight that thing.
The spindle told her to buy time.
Let's hope Ira doesn't take too long. for much longer.
She needs to.
Just a little more time. Almost there.
Spindle okay?
She can't be. No.
What? What's she doing to the Ark?
Hopefully not what I think she is.
takes.
Fine.
Spirits. Okay. Weavers have always dealt with problems like this. Well, not just like this, but yeah. We'll figure it out. Aurea, she'll know what to do.
Hey,
Hey,
how do you feel?
okay now, but it was touch and go for a while. Lane will probably never forgive me. For that matter, I might not either.
I knew that fight. The spindle, giving her life like that. It'd be on your mind all night. How could it not? And I've been mulling over what to tell you this morning. I had a speech planned, but you don't need a speech. You're like me. It'd ring false. So I'm going to tell you what I'd need to hear after something. You did good. It was an awful situation, but you stood up and did what needed to be done without hesitating. Not many people have that kind of grit.
You're right. I think that was what I needed to hear. Thanks, Aurea.
You deserve it. You've come so far in here. We've all had to adapt. But you more than anyone. Look. I know you, Bryn. You're made of stern stuff. You've the mountains in your bones. Any sense of doubt or being shaken is just snowfall. Temporary, and it'll slide off soon.
That was the part you practiced, right?
Yes. But that doesn't make it less true.
Okay. Okay. Thoughts on what we do next? We obviously need to deal with that beast. But where to start?
We need to get everyone together. Our band, Arakim too. And I want you to call the meeting.
Me?
Yes. You.
The spindle sacrificed everything for us. We could have lost Bryn just as quickly as we lost her.
We didn't, though.
I know everyone's up in their heads right now, but we have real problems to solve. So let's clear the air.
Are you running this discussion, then?
She is.
Sev, this has to start with you. We knew you were working with the Eye. We told you we'd have your back. Help us understand. Just breathe, Sev. Start from the beginning.
I'm sure Bryn and Solar told you all. But I belong to an order called the Norians. We're sometimes called the Watersmiths. Imagine my surprise to learn our talents had been critical to the construction of the tapestry. Our order binds us to always help another Norian. Especially a high-ranking one like Stanild. And to keep their secrets.
So that's how he sunk his claws into you.
The most important thing is whether we can trust you.
Yes, Sev. Convince us.
I swear, nothing I did was intended to cause harm. Too many of my order are political animals. But there is real good to be found among the craftspeople who just wish to perfect their art. To bring water to people in need. To experiment. But unfortunately, too many of those resources are controlled by people like the... They're all the same. They see a point of control. Water. Information. Wealth. I thought the secrets were a necessary evil. For some great purpose, but... Seeing his chokehold on the young... You all have every right to distrust me. I am sorry.
If you can't be a Norian,
If you'd have me.
those of us who have been here longer than Sev,
He's a great apprentice. And did what was right and
Still wasn't quick enough.
We need him. He's been exposed to Kenrick Stanild's plans, and that knowledge may...
We've all had a very tough time since we came through the Veil. I would have grabbed for some kind of normalcy or...
you are all heard. And I would add that you joined us under false pretenses, Sev. You had loyalties outside the band you never did.
I have a hard time accepting that he kept so much from us, but shared so much with the... Who knows what Stanild, or God's help us, the Talon heard about. Only time will tell how much damage that's done.
Lane, I hear you and I understand. Sev has real work to do to rebuild trust. Only you can decide when the apology feels real to you. Sev, that considered, you have worked tirelessly since joining us, and demonstrated an enterprising spirit, and before the blade could completely fall, you risked all by blocking it with your own. You can never be a Norian again. I do not sense that you... And who are the Weavers but a group of outcasts and misfits? Just trying to muddle through together. You will stay. And you will help. We have work to do. Tell us.
Thank you, Horia.
This has been a rough ride for us all. This entire situation is unreasonable. Or would be for most, but not us. We're weavers, Sev included, and rolling with the punches is what we... But here's our challenge. That Talon. It spoke. It knew things it couldn't know about us. We're on the back foot and need to catch up.
Then let me, as Horia said, after I repaired the gate, Stanild took me completely into his confidence. He'd been questioning and learning from the town, or so he thought.
Not realizing he was being...
He was increasingly estranged from his daughter. I'd wager he was desperate for...
I'd agree. Based on what he'd learned from the Surgeborn from his friend.
Use my people as a distraction to pull the bulk of the Surgeborn out of the Underworks. All while he used the gate to... what?
There is a place, deep, deep underground, known as the Source. A feat of engineering unparalleled. It's the secret to the Enclave's power. The abundance of magic. The heart of the tapestry. There was only a single loom gate still connected to the source after Asylum cleared all connections. And I'm the one who repaired...
The Grand Gate would take him right to the heart of things then.
Exactly.
Stanild thought he could... what? Sneak down there and fix things somehow? Tear down the veil?
His hope was to go down and secure a working space, sealed off from the distracted Surgeborn. He wanted to eventually fix things with the help of the Spindle. All glory to his family.
That arrogant idiot.
He'd read in his personal archives there was a system designed to shut down in the hopes of discovering how it worked. He had been feeding information to the Spindle about it in...
Meaning she might have been working on a fix for the source without...
Then we have to pursue her research, clearly.
Good. But we still have the problem Stanild never saw coming.
Which almost certainly will be unkillable if it operates like every other Surgeborn. It's hard to imagine any place more full of tangles than the literal source of the magic that's overflowing.
On that, I have an idea. If I'm right, we might be able to turn the tables and remove its advantage. I'll need Bryn's help if that's all right with...
Of course. If it gives us a chance, we have...
I agree.
Has anyone just thought to ask the Talon?
What would we ask it? Favorite color? Favorite way to disembowel Ash?
No, she's right. It has clearly demonstrated an interest in Bryn. Maybe she could pry some information out.
I'm not sure I'll get much. But I'm also sure I'm not going to think it's my friend.
Then we have a path forward. Sev will pursue his thoughts on dealing with that beast.
My people have started calling it the Herald.
Of destruction?
Why not both? As I said,
Fine. Sev pursues weakening this herald. We work with the Axle to look into the Spindle's latest research. And if she feels like it, Bryn has a chat with our imprisoned Surgeborn.
As good a path forward as we are going to find. Let's call it here and get to work.
Bryn, I examined the wreckage at the Grand Gate after everything that...
Found something useful?
The kinetic strand, in fact. The Ark must have torn it from the Herald's pattern in the chaos of the battle.
Think we could weave it into my mantle?
I don't see why not. Its pattern appears to be quite similar to those found on wild creatures and...
All right. We need...
Then let's get to work. And we're finished. This will be quite the powerful addition to your mantle.
How so?
This strand can twist kinetic magic into a tunnel. In battle, you could push debris or enemies through it and send them flying through the air quite forcefully.
Could I jump through it? Hey, there's a lot of tall buildings, flying creatures. This is going to be...
You're right. Just... Isla sacrificed everything.
I appreciated your candor in the meeting, sir.
It was terrifying. Wasn't sure I'd be allowed. You didn't get to voice an opinion with the others. Are we...
Well, I'm not going to pin a medal on you, because Sola says we shouldn't waste the materials. But you did. We're a team. And it's good to know you're still with us.
I knew something was wrong the moment that thing started talking to me when Stanild was... It was very focused.
Me?
So much so that it said the only way the plan would succeed was if it reeked of trap. I didn't survive a decade around Tarzan Norians without picking up when someone's holding a knife behind their smile.
But you still took me down there.
Sorry. An educated risk. I felt there was nothing it could do and wanted the whole band to hear it talk. I don't think it understood we have the scry.
And Stanild wouldn't use one, of course.
The Talon was his deepest secret. Whom would he...
Can you tell me more about Stannard's plans for once he went through the
He was counting on Isla. She was exceptional at protective fields. But even then, no. The Talon had convinced him he'd be able to survive, and fool that he was, he trusted it. But I have a theory. You know how the weather sometimes skews wildly hot?
Right. The aeroliths.
What else do we see on similar... Exactly.
You think the aeroliths are able to affect raw magic somehow?
I do. And in Stanil's private records and designs. I found notes specifically on aeroliths with Nori.
You think the Norians were involved in their creation?
It would certainly explain why Taza had such access to aeroliths before, if I'm right. This might be the key to making the source of...
Fewer tangles means less dead me. Absolutely.
You'll need to head to the Watersmith area of the Institute.
Going to need more feathers. That's an intimidating silhouette.
You are hardly in any position to make lofty demands. The Council convened and unanimously stripped you of your role. You no longer hold the privileges of the Eye.
And how quickly did you convene that council? You hardly waited for my daughter's body to cool.
She is dead because of you. Because of your reckless behavior and deception, no less.
Haroon, how dare you? Every decision I've made, every action I've taken has been for her protection.
Abandoning her at the Grand Gate was for her protection. We all saw you on the scry. And that is Khan Arteme to you, Kenrick.
Is this a bad time?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
No. You're more than welcome at Cassidon's Hold. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for you.
I came to offer my condolences. To both of you.
Oh. Thank you.
She was nothing short of brilliant. Everyone in our Weaver band could see it. She dedicated her life to reclaiming lost knowledge of the Arcs. The world is better for it.
She was... exceptional. It's hard to imagine the Enclave will ever recover from this loss.
Then why are you so opposed to giving her the funeral she deserves?
With the Surgeborn swarming Denevron, we can't risk a trip to the Hallowpire Rise.
For generations, every Stanild has received the rite of ashes upon death. Isla will not be the exception to this.
Could I perform the rite on your behalf?
You? Don't tell me you're a Hallowpire priestess on top of being a righteous pain in my ass.
Skies, do you want a funeral or not? She's our best option.
Isla saved my life. I want to help you honor her death.
I suppose you do owe her that. Fine. For the rite of ashes, you need to burn an object that was sacred to the deceased upon the High Pyre. As you collect the ashes, you must read a rite aloud to thank the flames for bringing the deceased to rest.
Do you have an object that was sacred to Isla?
Isla's most prized possessions aren't in Cassidon's Hold. She had a secret refuge in Dredger's Mire. You're sure to find something. She was always sneaking away at night to...
You knew she was sneaking out of Cassidon.
I knew my daughter better than she... Return to me.
Thank you, Bryn.
That might be Isla's secret refuge. It's actually not too far from Lucia's workshop. Isla dedicated her life to restoring the arts. Darm's right. We will need to continue our research. What might she consider sacred for the right? A letter from the Axel. I should take it back to her. Attorney Archon. That's sweet. Darm, do you think this could work for the Rite of Ashes?
It's perfect.
Well, Isla also had a comment on the workings of Archons. Marked with annotations, just like Lucia's. Wait, I'm losing you.
You hear me better now?
Yeah. Weird. The scry was cutting out.
Strange. At any rate, the book could be useful. Once you've completed the ritual, I'll take a look.
It's my pick for book club. I can't say between a love story and a studies round.
I've always wanted to build something like this. Most people couldn't even stand straight wearing one of those. You, however. That's an intimidating silhouette.
I'll need to place the toy ark on the high pyre. Sad to burn such a sweet toy. Now to collect the ashes. Though the flame abates and the ash grows cold, let she who worshipped you rest in eternal warmth.
Beautiful, Brain.
I'm sure I will.
There it is again. The scry is cutting in and out. Dom? Aurea?
We're... Can you hear me now?
You're back.
While you bring the ashes to Cassidon's hold, I'll analyze the scry. Something strange is afoot.
One of the greatest enchantresses of her time.
That's a lot to live up to.
Another flame strand for your mantle. Bryn, I cannot fathom how you must have felt in that fight against the Surgeborn.
As strange as it is to say, I had the easy part.
Yes. The tragedy about Isla. So much talent lost. Wasted, even.
He was always resistant to our efforts. Or maybe the Talon warned him of us, told him not to make...
Hey, Lane.
Oh, fine. And you? Are you recovering from your latest near-death experience? We were all rather worried about you.
Thanks for the concern. A little sore today, but no lasting injuries.
Good. Good.
Are you sure you're fine?
I suppose I'm just recalling our interactions with the Eye, looking for signs that he would... you know.
Summon a massive Surgeborn through a loom gate to Cassidon's hold?
Yes, that.
We'd all love to predict the future, but smart as you are, even you can't do that.
Isla would still be here if I could.
I know. She said
Scholars rarely agree on much. But if there's one philosophy many of us share, it's that we must understand our past to build better future. Maybe I couldn't have prevented this tragedy, but I can't help but mine the past for clues of what was to come. If only to stop it from ever happening again. I took a break from work earlier to watch you on the scry. The way you take down those giant beasts. Poetry in motion, even. If you weren't already journaling...
I don't get to see myself from the outside.
Alas.
I want to see what I look like when I'm exploring places.
Even without pictorial aids, you look...
You had those adjectives ready to roll.
Yes. It's what naturally came. Words are more my specialty.
Bryn, would you...
Check on Sev? Always. But how are you holding up?
I'm all right. Just worried about him, you know? He did the right thing in the end, and he seems to have come back to us for now, but all those issues that led him to the Eye in the first place, they aren't solved in a day.
He needs us now more than ever.
Exactly.
I performed the rite, and I brought you the...
Thank you, Bryn. Isla admired you. She would be honored.
It's not how she would have wanted things.
Enough! I know you're grieving. We all are. But you are no longer the Eye. And this disrespectful conduct, you owe Bryn a thank you. And an apology for that matter. And probably a great... Not only has she gone out of her way to perform the rite for your daughter, but she saved us all from certain death, none of which she would ever have had to do if...
For my actions, I know. It's all my fault. I should have stayed. The way she looked at me when I left her there, I could fill a city with my mistakes. I should have supported. My regrets.
Maybe they should.
Maybe they should.
My mother used to say, you can drown in your grief. It is unfair that you lost a child. I am so sorry that happened to you. You can spend the rest of your days counting the ways you failed your daughter. Or...
How?
just do one small thing a day that would make her proud. Start by helping us finish the work you wish you had supported.
It's too late for that, I'm afraid. But there is one thing. The Ark in your camp. The one she wanted. It's called the Ark of Verdance. An enchantress named Lucia de...
Lucia.
Consider it a...
You're going to speak to the Talon?
I don't expect to get much out of it.
Be careful. Clearly the Talon was and while I know you're not the idiot he is...
I just have to find out what I can. If the
It's a risk worth taking, I know.
I knew you'd be back.
And here I thought I surprised you. Or was your herald getting kicked back to the source?
Don't steal credit. And I'm quite certain it didn't survive. Judging by the way you charged straight to the Grand Gate upon hearing my plan, you favor misguided. Let me guess.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Let's not lie to each other.
Can't say the feelings...
Come now, I want to be comforted.
Fine. Let's be friends. Why don't you tell me what the Surgeborn are after so I can help you get it?
I told you. But because my offer of friendship, I'm after the same thing you're after.
But Surgeborn already...
Not you. You know the lust for magical power is insatiable. Why else?
I'm not power hungry.
Don't lie.
The Hearthsiders believe you were born out of the Surge.
I will keep some.
I thought we were friends.
Not yet. But we will be.
Kenrick Stanold is in rough shape after...
I would never treat you like I treated him. Trust me.
Doubt it.
See? The rite of ashes you performed for Kenrick. I almost
How do you know about that?
I have eyes.
You're watching me through the other...
There are no other Surgeborn.
Almost like the way bees work together.
If that makes it. Anyway, Pity you couldn't save her. Is that why you dropped everything to perform a funeral?
She was a friend, and you murdered her.
Technically, I did not kill her. Funny how magic often provokes.
What are you talking about?
Oh.
Ridiculous! The Stanilds have been receiving the rite of ashes at the Hallowpire Rise. That Hirun doesn't want to send a mourning party is an insult to her.
That's not fair. You know Khan Otome would love to—
Don't say her name.
All I'm saying is the Axel lost someone too. You don't need to make this harder on—
And who, pray tell, is working to— The answer is in the—
Is there anything else you can tell me about the—
Please, just leave.
Fine.
My light. I remember the day you were born, vividly. And I know your mother. For all her flaws, she would be— I am—
You deserve better from him. But that was probably all, come to think of it.
What will you do now?
Take care of my people. Someone needs to. And you? You're going to try to fix the arcs.
Isla saw something in the arcs no one else did. We can't let her death be in vain.
I wish I could help, but arcs were Isla's. That arc allowed you to pass safely through the tangles, where Surgeborn go to. If you're going to try to fix it, consider me heavily—
It's too great an advantage to ignore. Hey.
I am broken, and as much as I appreciate, everyone wants a piece of me.
Because you're in charge.
For now, without her, she wouldn't want me to cry.
You can. I know our Weaver band is still fairly new here.
She would appreciate one day at a time, Bryn. I need you to know I feel as if I'm alone, even though everything is—
Of course.
You laying Isla to rest is what you inspired her to be better.
It was the least I could—
Don't diminish your—
You've got whatever form that takes.
For what it's worth.
By the way, I found something that you— It's a letter I found in the spindles. I didn't read it.
I don't understand.
What? It's okay.
Likewise.
Dom, the interference I'm experiencing during any idea what's going on?
Not yet. The interference is certainly strange, but I'll need more time to analyze it before drawing it.
As long as it doesn't give out on us completely in—
However, I have taken a look at the Spindle's copy of the workings of Archons, and thankfully, right, and her notes are significantly less paranoid at that.
About that, Kenrick Stanold told me that Lucia wasn't just tinkering with the arc we followed through the Veil. She built it. The arc—
That is quite the
That was all Kenrick could tell me. Sev mentioned that Kenrick had been feeding Isla information about a failsafe for the... Could the Ark of Verdance be the fix she was working on without...
On my side, I dug into her notes. She was working on a way to fully restore... She was so close to a schematic intricate. Solar has the final design. Essentially, we'll be creating a power core for the Ark. Most notably, we'll need a special part. A bar. This is the final key for an Ark to be functional on its own without a Weaver channel.
If we had built a power core earlier, could her dad...
She only made this discovery in the final days of her life. Through researching all... Her research even theorizes that using one's own magic to power an Ark for brief amounts of time could...
So she knew she was going to die.
She knew exactly what would happen, and...
We can't let it be in... So... Then the Ark of Verdance is our failsafe. Your design will get it running. Where can I find...
She suspected it was kept in the Archon's hearth, stored near natural coral deposits for its regenerative...
The Archon's hearth once more. Wish Isla was here to guide me.
I could assist in her absence.
What the?
Bryn, what?
Aurea, the scry has been compromised by the search board. Stay off it.
Compromised is such a strong word. I just want to talk. So, what are we looking for in the Archon's heart? I know the Underworks well. It is my region, after all.
Like I would tell you.
Whatever plan you've concocted, it would be better if we work together.
You murdered my friend.
Technically, I didn't touch her. It isn't my fault she lacked the stamina to follow through on what she started.
This overlord is called the Prodigious Expanse. What of it?
There's a lot of coral here. I must be getting close to where the enclave shaped was. Will the surgeborn make a plan when I pick it up? I guess that's a risk I need to take.
distant treasure. Whatever you're planning to do with that is nothing compared to what we could accomplish if we put our hands together.
I can manage well enough on my own.
You do so much more than that.
The Surgeborn in the Howling Jail somehow has access to the scry.
We know. I can feel it in there with me. It's not pleasant. We need to do something fast.
The good news is, as far as we can tell, it only has access when you're in the underworks. At most, it seems to cause interference when you're above ground. We don't think it can listen in.
Until we can block its presence, best to keep use of the scry to a minimum.
All right. How are we get?
The reason Aurea can sense the Surgeborn presence on the scry is likely because it's wielding magic to communicate. The same way Aurea's mantle pulls magic from the air to contact you. However, unlike Aurea, the Surgeborn can't pull magic from the air around it. Otherwise, it would be talking to you all the time.
But it can only reach me when I'm underground.
Where the tangles are most dense. We need to cut off its access to raw magic.
That's where the spindle comes in. Thanks to her, we finally have the missing piece to get our escort here running.
It was a failsafe in the case that the source needed to be repaired. The Ark of Verdance will create a safe bubble against the tangles, which would be the natural consequence of any failure.
Just like it did with the Veil.
Exactly. But without the crushing weight that caused it to fail.
So, the plan. We get the Ark to the source.
Or at the very least, starts the process.
If the Herald waiting down there doesn't destroy it first, I'll need to take it down. If this plan...
That sounds dangerous.
It might be a risk worth...
We have to. The Enclave is overflowing with raw magic, and this source is clearly the root. Too many tangles have led to the floods. They allow the Surgeborn to communicate, and without the source under control.
Then that's our plan. We build a power core, then we speak to the Axle.
I'll...
And with this power core, we can fix our Ark of Verdance. I think this is what they call a...
Lately, I feel...
Hey, I know things look bleak, but this... Don't let the Talon rob you of it.
You're right.
I always am. Now, I think you've got a meeting with the app.
It's a little bit... It's like reaching into the past and shaking hands with its designer.
I think she'd be happy to see it up and running.
I think so. Plans set in motion decades ago.